Hello interneters and welcome to my top 10 rides and attractions at the Universal Hollywood Resort. Universal Studios is in the heart of Hollywood, with it both being a working film studio and a fully fledged theme park. The park itself is located in Universal City in California and is a lot smaller compared to its Florida counterparts. It's split into two halves, the upper lot and the lower lot, as it's located on the side of a hill. This makes viewing the surrounding area super easy when navigating the different areas between the different lots. Being a Universal property makes it a big money park, so the quality of the attractions are also very impressive, especially with the more recent additions. However, this does make it a very expensive park to visit, and the one-day ticket just costing $109. However, they do have a massive discount for the longer you visit. This was a really hard park to rank as the attractions are all very high quality, but there still isn't a crazy standout for me, which should be changed when the new Fast and Furious roller coaster is eventually built. So before we get into it, please hit that subscribe button as it does mean a hell of a lot to me. So without further ado, let's get into it, and here are my top 10 rides and attractions at Universal Studios Hollywood. So rounding out at number 10 is one of only two coasters at the resort, the Flight of the Hippogriff. This Mack Youngstar was built in 2016 in the world of Hogsmeade, and it's based on the magical world of Harry Potter and takes you on a whimsical journey with Hagrid's loyal creature, the Hippogriff, which you can see as you exit the station to your left. You actually sit in a wicker version of the Hippogriff. Why? I have no idea. The ride is not too intense, making it suitable for all ages. The best part is the stunning view of the Hogwarts Castle from the top. The ride takes shallow dips, smooth turns around the queue line, and it's definitely a good family coaster worth experiencing. At number 9, we have the Simpsons ride. This is a simulator ride full of screens. You'll join the Simpsons for an opening of a new roller coaster until that all goes wrong. You'll be moved around as you enter the thrills, spills and laughs as you help the Simpsons escape the danger. This is a fun attraction, however it does leave me feeling a little sick from the motion and the screen, and has an awful queue to also accompany it. Moving on to one very screen heavy dark ride to one that is actually less screen heavy, and I do appreciate that. At number 8 is The Secret Life of Pets. The Secret Life of Pets is the only slow-moving dark ride at the resort. However, being one of the newest rides, I did expect a lot of screens. However, I'm happy to say I couldn't have been more wrong. It seems like Universal have listened to all of our opinions in creating this attraction. First off, we need to speak about this queue. This queue is the least queue-like queue I've ever been in, and I know that sounds stupid. However, you are just moving through an apartment block with no traditional fencing, just cleverly designed rooms and props. Not only this, but every room is super detailed and fun, as you can spy on the neighbours' pets as they live their secret life. This queue is a fun environment to be in. The ride itself takes you, a stray, on a journey through New York in a cardboard box to get ready to be adopted. Yes, this is not a thrilling ride, but Max and Duke take you on a very fun adventure that is bound to put a smile on everyone's faces, as you see the pets come to life as you've never seen them before. This is through a mix of very heavy animatronics, very heavy set pieces, and very few screens, which are just there to add detail to the sets, which I have very much appreciated. Number 7. One of the best stunt shows, Waterworld. This thrilling action-based stunt show features water, fire, jet skis, boats, fighting, and so much more. What else could you want from a stunt show? The quality of this show makes it a must-see and a must-visit at the resort, as the sets and stunts are huge, as well as the finale stunt, which is an absolute spectacle. It keeps you entertained from start to finish, and as someone who's never watched the Waterworld show, you don't need to know what the film is. Just beware. Sitting in the first few rows means you will get wet during the show, and even before, as the actors will come and drench you as you wait for it to begin. You have been warned. The rest of my ranking, I know, is not going to be like the majority of people that have ranked these rides before me. If you do have differing opinions, I would love to hear them down in the comments. But let's go trigger some people. At number 6, we have the second coaster at the resort. We have The Revenge of the Mummy, The Ride. Long name, I know. This Premier Rides roller coaster that opened in 2004 is the major coaster at the park and is a really good indoor coaster and dark ride which is covered in thrills. When entering the queue, you'll enter a dig site looking for hidden treasures which turns out to be a burial chamber. Although this room is detailed, it is just one room filled with, yes you guessed it, the dreaded cattle pen. You start your journey as you board your minecart, and you start the dark ride scenes as you go through the tomb and the treasure room. But as all themed roller coasters, something is always bound to go wrong. Before you know it, you will launch through its dark layout with twists and turns with a few little pops of airtime. However, in the coaster section, the theming is a little lackluster, as they are just glowing neon figures around the track. The highlight of the ride is the bug wall, where you are stopped after the first section, and by the use of screens and projection mapping, bugs crawl everywhere. The following backwards launch makes the layout feel very different from the rest of the ride, as completing these twists, turns and pops of airtime backwards gives us a completely different sensation. The layout itself is a little bit different to its Floridian relative, and does fall a slight bit short of the quality that one has. Halfway, and at number 5, we have the Transformers The Ride. On this attraction, you'll feel right in the middle of the action as you join the Autobots in the battle against the Decepticons to move the Allspark from the city. The ride combines 3D technology, motion simulation and special effects to create a very immersive experience that will leave you breathless. The visuals are stunning and the adrenaline rush is off the charts. Although I'm not normally a fan of heavy screen use in attractions, the way Transformers uses these makes me feel more immersed with the real sets in between the show scenes and special effects just like wind, water and heat makes you feel like you're in the story. This is vastly helped by the incredible ride vehicles. These vehicles do make a realistic movement seem more exciting. You really do feel the speed along with every bump, punch and drop. It's definitely a must try if you're a fan of the Transformers franchise. So, just missing out on a podium is Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this one. Before we talk about the ride, the area is incredible, I am not doubting that one bit. The attention to detail is nothing we've ever seen before. The amount of moving parts, games and sounds is really sensory overload and does make you feel like you've stepped into the game. This area is unbelievably vibrant with Easter eggs everywhere and a lot of life with all the extra add-ons. This level of detail also continues into the queue, which as a Mario Kart game fan was so enjoyable to queue in, as it shows the different cups, tracks and all little Easter eggs from the games. You'll also enter Bowser's Castle, where you can see all of his plans for the race and the factory to create all the things that cause us difficulties as we play the game. The ride technology is a new and unique ride system itself. This technology mixes ride and game into one experience. The ride itself is a kart which is based on one of our favourite characters. These karts are slow and controlled in the direction you're looking. However, this is perfect for the set designs that are so clean and vibrant and could stand out on their own without any game element throughout the experience. These sets are impressive and bring back so much nostalgia value from the game. The game element itself is projected onto the visors with that you clip onto the Mario headbands that you are given before the ride. The game element is the reason I didn't really like it when I first rode it, however it did grow on me. This meant that each guest could have their own personalised race. The game on the visor, where you saw all the characters you were racing and could green shell any of them with the buttons on top of your steering wheel. In the background you can see the characters getting squished by the physical prop sets, which is actually a really impressive thing to achieve, as well as my favourite element on the ride, the Rainbow Road. However, I did feel the steering wheel was a bit pointless, how you only had to turn when the arrows popped up on your visor. I still think the game element is a little bit distracting, however I did learn how to enjoy both the game itself and the ride experience. And the experience, I must say, is incredible, and I just don't have that final affinity with this attraction like I do with some of the others here. So just before we get into our top 3, I have an honourable mention, and that is the Raptor encounter at the foot of the Jurassic World ride. Although this is not really a show or a ride, I had to put it in there because it's impressive nonetheless. The way this creature is puppeted and animatronically advanced is so impressive, and the fact that it is unique every single time you watch it is just mighty impressive, and it is a must-see every time you visit. We watched this 2 or 3 times and was still impressed each and every time. So winning the bronze medal at number 3, it is the Studio Tour. And I know for a fact that people will disagree on me for this one. However, I personally had to rank it so high for how unique it is as a theme park attraction. Not only can you go see the live film productions, but also see sets from the older ones from films that you might have enjoyed in the past. But this also celebrates its current and older attractions from the studio parks. It's just like having the Amity Bay from the Jaws sections. I loved how they are celebrated here as theme park history as well as the theme history. Being the oldest ride in the park, it has seen many variations over the years, due to changing rides, attractions, and obviously films being recorded there. However, my personal highlights that I loved around the tour were definitely seeing the Back to the Future Square, as I love those films. The disaster plane crash scene, which is on an insane scale, and of course seeing that Jaws animatronic in action, as I never got to ride the original. Yes, Kong and Fast and Furious sections do exist on this ride, but I didn't mind it as much as these are smaller sections and not full attractions. The tour we took around the Universal lot took about 50 minutes, so definitely plan this into your day. So coming in at number 2 is the Forbidden Journey ride. And this ride is absolutely mind-blowing. It's part of the wizarding world of Harry Potter and takes you on a magical journey through the Hogwarts Castle, which is a truly impressive land staple and never fails to wow. As you queue, it truly feels like you're exploring the wonders of Hogwarts as you meander through tunnels underneath the castle, the greenhouse where the students would grow their own ingredients for potions, Dumbledore's office, and the talking pictures before you even get on the ride. Any fan of the wondrous world will already be having the best time of their lives in this queue, spotting all the different places and every Easter egg in the queue. But this one isn't just for the fans. Even as a non-fan of Harry Potter, you can appreciate and enjoy this queue with the amount of level of detail that is here. The queue does not feel like a chore to queue in, which is always a positive. So let's talk about the ride experience. Once you've boarded your magical bench, you'll soar through the air on broomsticks, encounter mythical creatures, and even come face to face with some of your favourite characters from the Harry Potter series. The technology, even though it's not new anymore, is insane. You are sat on the back of a robotic arm, which makes all the movements feel ever so more thrilling. This thrilling movement is also paired with some more crazy technology which blends the ride between screens and physical moving sets perfectly. This has an adrenaline-packed section with some legitimate spooks with the Death Eaters. My personal highlight is where you drop through the bridge where you're being chased by the dragon. That is one impressive animatronic, and the way it interacts with the ride system is just incredible. This ride is a perfect blend of screens and physical sets, and the ride robot arm you are on. This is a ridiculously high quality attraction, which I think gets overlooked as it's not classed as the new thing anymore. And for me personally, number 1 won by a large margin. I love the Jurassic series as parks and the world, so any attraction themed to them also automatically has a major advantage. This might have to be my favourite non-coaster I have ever ridden. So at number 1, we have Jurassic World. This is the updated version of the original Jurassic Park ride, which you can still experience at Florida. This ride will bring you face to face with our prehistoric counterparts, and I love that the theme is actually themed to being a ride. I think it works super well. The queue does leave a lot to be desired, however the ride more than makes up for it. Once you have boarded your massive boat, the incredible soundtrack kicks in, which creates an aura around what you are seeing, paired with the incredible size of the first show scene, which yes, is full with screens, but with the effects, it makes it so much more lifelike. The way that the images on the screen interact with physical water sets makes it all the more lifelike and impressive. I also love that the middle section brings out the nostalgic feel of the Jurassic Park ride, as it almost feels identical with the original animatronics. And yet again, we have another ride that goes wrong. This is where you can really see the updates from the original Jurassic Park attraction. The Indominus Rex is out, as well as everything else from Tyrannosaurus Rex Kingdom. You get a brief look at the massive animatronic at the bottom of the lift hill, you can already tell the quality of these animatronics. As well as the alarms and the music change, it really builds up the anticipation that something's about to go very wrong. And the sheer size of that final showroom where you've got Blue, the Indominus Rex and the T-Rex is just mightily incredible. And let's just talk about the animatronic on itself. The sheer size and lifelike movement of that final animatronic is nothing like I've ever seen before. It literally left me speechless. I honestly think it's the best animatronic I've ever seen. The way it moves over you as well just adds an extra element. The ride has everything: the music, the animatronics, and of course the famous drop underneath the T-Rex. What else could you possibly want? This is an incredible attraction. So there you have it. There is my top 10 rides and attractions at the Universal Studios Hollywood Resort. Please, again, let me know your opinions on this. I know everyone's opinions do differ on this, but I can honestly not wait until they build that Fast and Furious coaster to have that major staple at the park. We did love this park when we visited. We did have a great time both days we were there. So please, if you did like this video, please like, subscribe and comment. But most importantly, stay wild.